What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got another review for you today, and this time we're taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Scraphook. So let's jump straight in. So here we go then, guys. Here's Scraphook. This guy is a brand new character for the Legacy Evolution line, and he is a Autobot affiliated Junkion character. The official canon for this guy is he's basically a Junkion cadet, so he's a relatively new face in terms of the Junkion faction, and he does report directly to Wreck-Gar, who's the leader of the Junkions from the '86 movie. As you can see, he's got that same sort of paint scheme going on, colour coded with the red, the browns, and then you've obviously got that lighter red for the chest piece there. And yeah, let me tell you, I mean, this guy is the king of accessories. So all of these bits that you see attached to the sides of him here, it's all removable, as well as these little pieces down here, they're also removable. And yeah, this guy is essentially a armorizer character. So he's designed to come apart in numerous different ways, which we'll show you throughout the review. And yeah, he's intended to be combined with other characters and other figures in the Legacy line. So you can upgrade those characters and kit them out with some extra gear, a bit more armour and weaponry. So yeah, really cool. So having a look at the closer details, as you can see, this guy is unfortunately missing one of his eyes. I don't believe it's stated in the official canon as to how he did lose it, but I'm sure it's pretty extravagant story that they've come up with. Nice head sculpt going on there. He is a little bit hollow around the back, which is a shame. But other than that, yeah, the head sculpt is actually really good. It would have been nice if they'd have done the face in a metallic silver, or maybe the beard section, just to help it stand out a little bit, as some of the sculpted detailing does get lost just in that grey plastic. As you can see on the chest plate there, we've got a nice painted Autobot insignia. And then he's got like this sort of almost like engine detailing on the abdomen. Moving up to the arms, as you can see, we get a bit of the alt mode kibble for the arms, and then he's got the wheels on his shoulders. One thing to note on these wheel pieces is the tyres are actually separate to the alloy piece, so they do spin, while when you've got an accessory tabbed in there, that can stay put, which is nice. Just rotate the arm out so you can see that. Not a lot going on really, a little bit of hollowness on the forearms as well. Down to this section here, not a lot going on, a little bit more sculpted detailing, but not too much. Down to the legs. These are effectively just the entire alt mode present there. And then the feet make up the front grille section for the alt mode. Obviously this guy's primary alt mode is a Towtruck. So yeah, you got all that going on. It is a little bit kibble-tastic, but with the whole sort of armorizer functionality, I suppose it kind of makes sense. With this guy, they can kind of get away with it a little bit. So, with all that being said, I'm going to jump onto the accessories. On to Scraphook's accessories. The first one we get is this spare tyre / shield type piece. And it does have one of those 5mm posts on there, so you can tab that anywhere where you can find a port. Nice little bit of sculpted detailing on there. No paint, sadly. And then, what would Scraphook be without his actual hook? This is the toe arm section, and then the hook itself. And you can remove the hook from the arm piece. As you can see, we get one of those 5mm posts there, and then the hook itself is on a 5mm too. So you can have him holding the hook separately if you want to, or you can have it attached to this piece and you can have him holding that. Next, we get these two exhaust pipe pieces, which also have 5mm posts on the insides. They have 5mm ports up here, and then they also have ports on the outsides as well, so you can attach other accessories to those. And then the last set of accessories we get for Scraphook is these dual phaser blasters, which make up the front engine block section for when he's in alt mode. And as you can see there, we get more of those 5mm posts for him to hold on to those, or you can combine these with some of the other accessories, such as these tailpipe pieces, so you can have those attached onto there, have that effect going on. So yeah, there's plenty of different options for the accessories. Moving on to the articulation. First up, the head is on a swivel, so it will go all the way around, and there's that hollow space that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, bit of a shame, but it is what it is. There's no up or downward movement on the head. This piece does move over into there for the transformation, but you can't really manipulate that while he's in bot mode. The shoulders are on hinges, so they can go up to about there, but obviously those panels are now going to collide with the torso, so they won't go any further. You can get a full 360 rotation out of the shoulders. There is a bicep swivel, however, you have to be really careful with these pieces, as they are very softly tabbed onto that really at the elbow. I mean, if I just pull it a little bit, you'll see it just pops straight off. So just be careful when you're maneuvering that piece around, as it does tend to pop off quite frequently. Get a 90-degree bend at the elbow. And then we also get a swivel on the wrist. Coming down to the torso, we get a swivel at the waist. It will go all the way around, which is nice. The hips are on hinges, so you can get a full splits out of him, as so. And he can kick up to there. He can kick back all the way to there. There's no thigh swivel. And then coming down to the knees, we do get a 90-degree bend. And then there is also a swivel. Again, as with the elbows, you do have to be a little bit careful with the knees, as they are designed just to pop off. It's part of the whole functionality of the armorizer feature. So yeah, just be careful again with those, as they do tend to pop off quite frequently. And then down to the feet, we get upwards motion, backwards. This will fold all the way up, as that is where it stores away for the alt mode. And then there's sort of like a double hinge here, so you can kind of maneuver that piece forward and backwards a fair bit, which is nice. And then there is an ankle rocker as well, which will go to there. So that's everything for the articulation. Just before we show you the weaponizer feature, I'm just going to show you a couple of comparisons next to some of the other Legacy figs that I've got. So here he is with the Legacy United Infernac Universe Magnius, who is also one of these weaponizer, armorizer figures. So this guy comes apart as well. So there he is with Magnius, and then here he is alongside the Armada Universe Hotshot, who is Scraphook's wave mate. They were both released in the same wave of Legacy Evo. And yeah, I'll show you the way that this guy can integrate onto this figure. And there we are, guys. That's just a brief look at how Scraphook can combine with one of the other figures. So here we've got that Legacy Evo Armada Hotshot with some of Scraphook's accessories attached. And what we're left with from Scraphook is basically this. It's just a little sort of box with a couple of the other accessories left on there that I didn't use. But yeah, you can come up with your own individual combinations. It's quite cool actually. Yeah, plenty of different options for you there. On to the transformation then. So rather interestingly with Scraphook here, although he is a weaponizer character and he is designed to come apart and be rejigged around to combine with some of your other figs, he does actually have his own individual transformation, which doesn't require you to take him all apart, unlike some of the other weaponizers that we've had in the past. So yeah, really nice touch that with this fig from Hasbro. Definitely want to see more of that, as it does feel like you're getting two figures in one. You know, you're getting this guy and his two different modes, and then you're also getting the ability to add him onto other figures and buff them up a little bit, which is nice. So first step of the transformation, we're going to come to the back here and we're going to just separate these two panels and just open them out like so. And then we're going to come to these shoulder joints here, these brown pieces, and they're just going to untab and swivel out like so from this grey section here that's holding the head. So do that on both sides, just fold that out. Then that would allow us to take that whole section and rotate the head into that gap there. And that's going to form the front windshield section of the alt mode. Next step, what we can do is just bring this chest forward so that it's out of the way, giving us as much room as possible. Then we're going to rotate at the waist. So the front is now facing the back. And then we're going to maneuver the arms out of the way so that we can bring this whole section down so that it's touching that crotch piece there. So we've got a little bit of a girl walker mode going on. Then we're going to come to the legs and more specifically the feet, and we're going to fold these panels in and just collapse it on that double hinge so that it's sitting flush with the front end. Do the same thing on the other leg, like so. And then what we can do is combine the two halves using all these tabs and slots that we get down the middle. Make sure everything's nice and connected together like so. And then we're going to grab both legs as they're now combined, and we're just going to rotate them up so that they're sitting nice and level with that piece there, as that is basically the cab section of the front end done now. The last step on this bit is to fold these panels down, and they're just going to tab in like so. So do that on both sides. Now this rear section is quite tricky to get it all lined up, so I'll try and go through it as sort of detailed as possible really. So first step, what you want to do is we're going to take these shoulder joints and just bring them in a little bit so that they're sitting like that. And then we're going to bring this section down, and essentially that groove there is going to accommodate that tab, but we're not going to connect it together just yet. So we'll just keep that lined up like that so it's ready to go in. Then we're going to rotate at the shoulder joints so that these rear wheels are now in place. Correct orientation, do that on both sides. And then we're going to straighten out the arms, and we're going to rotate at the elbows just 90 degrees, so those ports are now facing upwards. Do that on both, and then you need to rotate the hands 90 degrees in the other direction so that they're now facing upwards like that. And then this is the tricky bit. What you've got to do is you've got to fold these shoulder joints into that piece, and then you've also got to try and get these arm pieces around as well, as they are going to tab in those little slots there with these tabs that are on the side of the arms. Now the problem that you have is this shoulder joint just ends up blocking this arm from being able to go in. So you've got to sort of angle that out of the way while getting that folded around and in. And then it's sort of got to compress down against this red piece here so that it all tucks away nicely. And then the arms are going to connect together as well via that tab into that slot there, just up top. So the biggest problem you're going to have with it is it's just going to keep popping out like that. So you've just got to take your time with it, just try and be patient. It is annoying, and there's no sort of quick way to do it really. It is arguably the worst thing about this figure. It's just such an annoying way to do it, have to do it. I found the easiest way to do it is just to get it all lined up like so, and don't tab anything in yet, just get it all lined up, and then you can slowly start combining things. So combine the arms up, and then you're gonna have to try and sort of move these pieces in and under there. Like so, and then you can sort of get those arms tabbed in a bit closer. And then the final sort of thing that's going to help it is to get that chest plate tabbed onto that section there, just like so. And it should be sitting nice and level like that, all connected together if you've done it right. As I said, just try and take your time with it, and you know, don't get too frustrated if these arm pieces keep coming off of those shoulder joints. It does happen, unfortunately. It's just a flaw in the design really. And then once you've done that, you can start adding in all your accessories. So the twin blasters are going to peg into these ports here on the hood to form a engine block, like so. We can take the spare tyre / shield and tab it into this port on the back, like that. We can grab the tow hook and the towing arm section, and it's just going to tab into this slot on the arm. As you can see, the tab is offset, so when we pop that in there, it will actually sit in the middle, which is nice little feature. And then lastly, with the exhaust pipe pieces, they're just going to tab into the sides of the vehicle here, and then pop the other one in on the other side. And there we go. And I'll just show you some comparisons with some of those other figures again. So here he is with the Legacy United Infernac Universe Magnius. As you can see, they go quite well together. They are both deluxe class figures, so yeah, they're pretty bang on in terms of scale really. And then I'll show you him alongside the Legacy Evolution Armada Hotshot. That's what it looks like next to Hotshot. Final thoughts on Scraphook then, guys. I think he's a really good figure actually. Yeah, I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I think he's an excellent addition to Legacy Evolution. He goes hand in hand with Armada Hotshot really, with the way that you can sort of gear him up and add some more firepower to him. I mean, that is probably the biggest selling point with this figure really. Because it's a new character, obviously, there's not a lot there to substantiate him being a popular release. So the fact that you're getting a regular Transformer figure that has a bot and an alt mode, and then you're also getting the added functionality of the weaponizer features where you can add them to other figures, I think that is really the top selling point for this guy. I have seen a few of them knocking about still. You can still get them. I'll drop a link down below for some of the sites that are still stocking them. and he is really cheap now. From what I've seen recently, as of probably a couple of days ago when this review goes live, they were around £17 UK. So he's significantly discounted for a deluxe, and yeah, he's a good little figure to pick up. Obviously, you know, you can have him in his main bot mode or in his alt mode, or you can have him attached to some of your other figures. It's completely up to you, really. He did release alongside a couple of other Junkion weaponizer characters, and I believe you can sort of combine them all up together. Sadly, I don't have those other figures in my collection, so I can't show you that, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's about it for this one, I think. Keep it locked to the channel because we're going to have plenty more reviews coming. And as mentioned in my previous video, we have set up a Instagram account under the new name of Depths Reviews, and that is linked in the channel description, so you can head over there and drop me a follow. We're posting regular content on there of sort of almost like behind the scenes of the reviews, and a couple, you know, little more action shots of the figs. So yeah, there's some additional content over there if you're interested. Stay tuned to the channel over here on YouTube because, as I said, we're going to have loads more reviews on the way. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. I'll see you on the next one.